What is up, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy, coming to you live, breaking down this upcoming UFC London card. Before we begin, like button for me though, definitely subscribe. We're here breaking down this card. I cannot wait for it. It's UFC London. It's going to be a big card. But let's go and kick it off. Like I said, always the like button for me though. Definitely subscribe. That helps me out a crap ton. So we have Daniel Perez versus Jaffiel Filio. So Filio, UFC debut, he lost to Makayev sub, put up 19 fantasy points. Going on at 8-3. And then we have Perez making his UFC debut. First fight. So you know how I feel about first fights. I hate going to first fights because it kind of makes or break your night, whether win or loss. So I kind of turned away from them. I have my notes pulled up. Like I said, we're gonna break down this card. There's 15 fights, so it's a huge fight card. So keep that in mind. But Filio, he's aggressive on the feet, powerful striking. That's kind of his bread and butter. The grappling's not bad. I'm kind of trending towards Perez though in this fight because he's kind of wild on the feet. And that's what I kind of like. I like loopy fighters that are with striking. To kind of hit that one clip knockout. But again, this is the first fight. I'm kind of fading this fight, so I'm gonna kind of keep that plain and simple. We have a female fight though. Bannon versus Brazil. Bannon's making her UFC debut. She's kind of a fighter who pushes the pace. 7-6 is not a bad price tag. Brazil. This is a close fight. She lost her UFC debut in a KO, so we do have to watch out for that because she's kind of chinny. Like Savannah's going to push the pace. Brazil, that the last fight worries me. That's the problem. Is that fight was not a great fight for her. She's okay takedown, striking's okay. I kind of like Bannon at 7-6, but again, this is a female fight. I kind of trend away from female fights unless I absolutely have to go there. Like Dudakova last week, which I kind of got lucky on with Dudakova, with that freak injury to Nunes. But let's go to another fight. Let's go to a better fight. Chris Duncan, I love Chris Duncan here. This is going to be a fighter that I'm definitely on. I do not see the pathway for Yanel winning. He had a win against Patterson. I mean, that was a KO win, but I like Chris Duncan here. He's going to be the better fighter at 8-4. Duncan, he's tough on the feet. That chin is great. Chin is durable. It's not great. It's durable. Um, he's nice on the feet. Like I said, takedown offense is there. The striking's there for him at 8-4. He can do dividends for your lineup. At 8-4, I'm liking him a ton. I don't see the pathway to Janelle winning. I mean, the wrestling's there, but still, I like Duncan to avoid that. Vieira versus Panini. So Ketlin Vieira. So they have similar losses to Raquel Pennington, 7-1. So Panini, she's gonna be the better fighter, as in the volume's gonna be there and she's fast on the feet. Ketlin Vieira is tough though. She's a tough female fighter. At 9-1, I don't really want to pay that price tag. I really go elsewhere. Let's look at her fantasy points: 49 in the loss, 79 in the win, 84 in a win. It's just I don't want to really trust Vieira here. I think Panini is going to be the better fighter at 7-1. But again, this is a female fight. I kind of turn away from him. Barbarena versus Muhammad. So here's the deal. So Muhammad 9-5. I'm not getting there. I think yes, he's going to be the better fighter. Yes, he can beat Barbarena pretty quick, but it's 9-5. I'm much rather go to Aspinall at 9-7. This is the kind of ownership fight where I'm just looking at it and saying I'm kind of fading just based on the fact of I hope this goes to the judges. I hope this is not a finish. I hope to avoid this fight. Murdov has the leg kicks. I mean, the striking's there for him. The leg kicks is his better and butter. The boxing is there. He should be able to carve out Barbarena. But again, I'm hoping this goes to the judges because I'd rather go to other fights. Pogues versus Parkin. So Pogues coming off a win versus Josh Friesen. He scored 82 in the decision win. Parkin's coming off of Dana White's Contender Series. That's what I'm kind of liking. Also, with his price tag at 7-3, I like that price tag a ton because he's a big fighter. This is a big boy fight. Parkin has nice striking. The grappling's there for him. He's going to try to earn control time. This is going to be a tit for tat kind of fight where who's going to have the more ground control time overall, because both of these fighters aren't really going to find the finish, in my opinion. I think it's going to be kind of a back and forth fight to where it's going to go to the judges. And at 7-3, if I can get the good fancy output out of Parkin, I don't mind that at all. It's kind of how I'm feeling about this fight. So, Joel Alvarez versus DeCasey. So Joel Alvarez. Last time we saw him was Armin Sarukian loss back in 2022. He's had some time off. He's had some time to train. This is a home fight for DeCasey, so keep that in mind. He's coming off a loss to Johnson. 7-2, I'm not liking. Joel Alvarez, I do like a 9,000. I think he needed this time off to prepare for this fight. The light kicks for DeCasey is what I'm worried about. The striking is what I'm worried about for DeCasey. But again, I think Joel is going to be the better in all formats. The boxing has worked for him in the past. The layoff for Joel, I think, is going to be great. I think it's going to pay dividends for him. He's just the better fighter overall. That's why I'm kind of liking him. Parsons versus Roberts. This is a kind of another fight that I'm just looking at and saying I kind of want to fade this AK range. Roberts is coming off 2 losses. If you look back to Jack Del Almeida and Geraldo, which is 2 decent losses, the Jack Del Almeida fight, we kind of saw that coming. For Parsons, though, I think he's going to have the better game here. I do like Roberts by a hair, though, if he can basically not worry about the striking of Parsons, because Parsons is very quick on the feet based on the tape I've seen. He's very fast. Again, this is his UFC debut. At 8-2, I wouldn't mind him, but again, I'd much rather go to other fights. Marcos versus Grant. So David Grant's going to have a career resurgence. If we look back, Smolka win in 2022, 2023, Rafael Cinzo, sub. I mean, we saw that sub coming. But again, if we look back, he's kind of had a career resurgence coming off the loss of Yanez, coming off the loss of Vieira. He came back, looked good against Smolka. David Grant, we know he has powerful striking. He was bomb for hands. Marcos is coming off a win against Oliveira. Yeah, KO win. So this is going to be a back and forth fight also on the striking end. Marcos is a slight favorite. I kind of like Marcos here at 8-5, but again, don't count out David Grant to find that one punch knockout. He's going to have to watch out for the chin of David Grant. So again, I don't mind this fight overall, but there's other fights to target. Josh Colibao versus Morel Murphy. So Colibao, I do like his price tag at 7-4. Keep that in mind. This is going to be a great live fight. Colibao, he is striking for days. This is a hometown fight for Murphy's kind of mind, kind of playing that hometown narrative and some of these fights. So it's going to be there for some of these fighters. But Murphy's coming off a win, slight favorite. Colibao's coming off a win also. This is going to be fireworks on the feet, though. Keep that in mind. This is going to be a back and forth fight on the feet. It's going to be whoever can knock out somebody first. I want pieces of this fight. I kind of want both sides of this fight overall. Jai Herbert versus Freeze Zayam. So Zayam's coming off a win versus Figlet. We saw that loss versus McKinney. I don't know what's going on with McKinney. Don't get me started. He had a draw versus Klein, went off of Nelson. Super close fight. Super close fight. So the striking is going to be quick pace for Herbert. Zayam will try to control this fight, have the ground control. Another fight that I'm kind of fading overall. But the next fight I do want to talk about, I do like Craig. So I'm going to be kind of the odd man out on this fight. I don't think many people are going to want to go to Paul Craig. Munoz last fight, that was not great. That was not a great showing versus Allen. So again, we know Craig has the grappling. It's just getting to the ground is the problem. But the submission game's there. I'm hoping for a sub versus Paul Craig. Please give me Paul Craig's submission win at 6-9. Please give me that because Craig is a tough fighter. I think Munoz is not going to show up this fight. The last fight was not great for him. I'm loving Paul Craig here. I might be the only one on him, Paul Craig. But again, I'll be the guy. So Nathaniel Wood versus Andre Fili. So Nathaniel Wood's kind of an interesting story based on the fight of we saw the win versus Jourdain. He kind of cut up his leg, but he had to get stitches. He's back. I love him here at 9-2. He's back. Andre Fili, he's fought great fighters. Don't get me wrong. Bill Aggio, Brito, Pineda, Mitchell, Jourdain, Youssef. I mean, they're all there at 7,000 for Fili. Fili is coming off a win. Wood has nice striking. The dropping is there for him for days. Takedown offense is there. He's powerful on the feet. He's powerful on the ground. Fili, he's way too inconsistent for me to even want to play. Storyline versus Molly McCann. This is a sit-up win for Molly McCann. She has to get the finish here. She absolutely has to. This is a fight for her to win. Storyrenko, she's coming off a loss to Chandler, which we just saw what happened to Chelsea Chandler. So again, give me Molly McCann for the win. So I don't see the pathway to Stoliarenko winning. I don't. I really don't. If somebody has a pathway for her to win, please tell me how, because I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but again, we saw the knockout for Stoliarenko. Molly McCann's the better fighter. I'm all over Molly McCann here in 9-4. So last fight, lock and load Aspinall. I know the injury is worrisome. We don't know what's going to happen. Coming off of surgery, it's scary, but it's Tybura. Tybura is a ground and pound fighter. Aspinall has the grappling for days, striking for days. Submission win for Aspinall. I see it around 1 or round 2. This is kind of my 4 I'm liking so far. My mix or match other ones. You can see my article. We want picks for my core 4 that I'm loving. But again, these are kind of the fighters I'm looking at. But again, guys, thank you for tuning in. It was a great series, and everybody have a good one.